Hey guys, welcome to another SRI New Home Showcase. My name is Ainsley. Today we're here at Blossom Spider Park by EL Developments, the same developer for one of the videos for Pullman residences that we did earlier on for our SRI New Home Showcase video. And of course, today right here at the heart of One North, we're going to meet Ken Low, our managing partner, to share with us a little bit more about this whole area. So again, we're here with Ken and we want to find out a little bit more of the story of One North. Ken, please share.
So one interesting fact about One North is, I think many people do not know, the name actually came about because of the location latitude. One North is located slightly 1 degrees off north of the equator.
Oh, really?
Yes, so that's why it's called One North. And One North, the concept came about all the way in 1990s, and starting from 2001, they started the construction of One North till now. And I think more than 20 years already, they are still building One North, and that's how big this entire project is.
That's a long time, yeah.
Right. So the government actually planned One North to be the research and development and high-tech cluster within Singapore, which is why you see many tech firms that are located within this area. You even have A-Star and some of the government bodies that are in here as well. One North actually consists of a total of 9 clusters. You have your Fusion Police, Biopolis, Media Police, to name a few. Blossom Spider Park is located right in the heart of One North. And in recent times, you can also see that through the growth, our HQ of your Razer, Grab HQ, they are all within this area.
I think most importantly, One North is the fact that it's still growing and they're not even done yet. That's quite amazing. There's still a lot of potential in this area. So Ken, you know what? Driving around this area just now, while coming in to do this shoot, right, I realized that this area, this whole business district feels a little bit different. Why does it feel so? Why does driving here seem so stress-free?
I think this entire it feels different from the very cold, hard CBD business area that you are usually in.
It does.
I think this attributes back to the late Zaha Hadid, who is a very world-renowned architect. She was the person behind the master plan in the whole of One North.
Sure.
She's known for a lot of famous architecture in Singapore. The Liden is done by her. So I think this legacy of how she has space planned the entire One North has led to the result as what we are seeing today. I think one of the concepts that she wanted to bring across in this area is the openness of the business node area, the landscaping, the green nodes that she wants to bring in to make it livable. She wants this entire zone to be recognizable even from afar. And I think this is the same concept that we have in Blossom Spider Park as well. So I think living within Blossom Spider Park, within One North, give you that kind of very carefree, open feeling where everywhere you turn is car light, it's easy to move around, and yet it's not so hot, not so cold.
It gives us a very different lifestyle. In fact,
Blossom Spider Park, by its virtue of being within One North, suits the entire theme of One North totally, which is work, live, play, learn. And of course, through our studies, with the recent MRT lines that were formed up within One North, I think we added on another segment which is connect. Blossom Spider Park is very well connected to the rest of Singapore.
So we understand that One North is going to continue growing, right? So Ken, share with us a little bit more about the future development here at One North. What do you feel? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
So I think One North itself is already a very established business node. We have over 400 leading companies in One North already. And of course, we have 15 public research institutes and more than 50,000 knowledge workers that are all white-collar skilled. And I think this already forms up a very natural tenant pool and future buyers for residences within One North. What is more interesting is that when we saw the planning of the government by JTC, we are surrounded by NUS, NUH, Science Park 1 and 2. With the new creation of the Dover Knowledge District, the government is actually forming up a bigger ecosystem which is called the Greater One North to lump all these districts together. And I think they complement each other very well because they're all about knowledge, R&D and tech. And what's more interesting is when we saw the mapping, the Greater One North will actually connect to where the Greater Southern Waterfront will be. In future, we believe this part where the current Pasir Panjang ports are will eventually house businesses that are similar to what we see in Greater One North. And I think that's the future growth which will carry on all the way past 2040.
Wow, that's a very exciting story all the way to 2040. Alright, now that we've shared with you the elements of work, let's talk a little bit more about the elements of play and learn. Ken.
So I think living in Blossom Spider Park, you already have quite a lot of dining options and nice cafes around One North itself. Other than that, we also have the Rochester Commons. We are just 5 minutes walk away from Star Vista, where you have a lot of dining options, many shops, entertainment, the supermarket. And if you want some local delights, we are just about 13-15 minutes walk away from your Ghim Moh and Holland Market and Food Centre. We actually know people who live within One North love it even on the weekends because it's just so convenient for them.
Well, that's very exciting to know that there's so much of activities to do right here, all the amenities right here at One North for you. So Ken, Share with us a little bit more about the schools. I know a lot of parents are worried about schools, what's 1 kilometer, within this area.
Yep. So we are actually surrounded with quite a number of international schools.
Okay.
We are within 1 kilometer to Fairfield Methodist Primary School. When you are in Fairfield Methodist Primary, you get affiliated to enter into their secondary school, which is all around the same area.
Right.
And of course, through the Methodist connection, you are again then affiliated to enter into ACJC. So you can actually buy into this area, live with your kids, and see them going through the different phases of their education for the next 10 plus years.
Oh, very nice. So you can be here for a long time, in fact. So we're here at the Connect element, and we want to find out all the connectivity that is around the whole One North. Can you share with us, the MRT, the driving, what's it all like?
So in fact, Blossoms by the Park, as compared to the rest of the residential plots, we are the closest to the MRT station.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And we are only 3 minutes walk away from your Buona Vista MRT interchange. We are also the closest to the rail corridor, which we are about 5 minutes walk away. And later you'll see that we are just doorstep away from One North Park. With the MRT interchange, the East-West line will bring you to your Raffles and City Hall. With the addition of the Circle Line, with the add-on of 3 stations of your Prince Edward, Cantonment and Keppel, will then allow residents within Blossoms by the Park to reach Greater Southern Waterfront within 3 MRT stations and link all the way to your Marina Bay area.
Okay.
Right, so the convenience will be enhanced in the next 1 year, 2 years, even before you collect your keys for Blossoms by the Park. And of course, for drivers, we are just 2 minutes drive away from AYE. We are actually just within 10 minutes drive away from your Jurong Lake District. We are also about 10 minutes drive away from your Central Business District.
That's super convenient. Of course, we can't wait to check out the model. Are we going to check out the model right now?
Let's go.
Okay. So we're here at the final element called Live, where you will be living here. So we want to find out all the good stuff about what's in this, Blossoms by the Park. Ken.
So I like the first part about how the road leads into Blossoms by the Park main entrance. So as you drive through this small road, you are actually along this road called Slim Barracks Rise.
Yes.
So interestingly, Blossoms by the Park is tucked very nicely into the corner of the cul-de-sac of this road. So it's very private. You won't have any vehicles coming in except for residents who are living inside
That's
here.
a dream for drivers.
Right. And it fits in the theme of the entire development being very open, where families and kids can be running around this area and they can still have the safety of things. The architect and the developer has very cleverly used the terrain, landscaping to actually form up the boundary of the development. So you don't see boundary walls. And that's how nice this entire thing is flowing very naturally with the entire One North.
I like what you mentioned about the openness, but I also saw something that's also very open, very unusual. I see a little lane, a road, a public plaza going through the whole Blossoms by the Park. Tell us a little bit more.
So this is one of a kind. This public plaza actually is where people will flow through to link to the MRT station, Buona Vista and Ta Vista, which is all just about 3 minutes walk away. So this public plaza is actually covered. It links all the way through Blossoms by the Park, all the way to your NTU alumni building.
Right.
And importantly, we have actually 4 F&B shops that are in the development itself along the public plaza. So residents in Blossoms by the Park do get to enjoy immediate F&B options right at their doorstep. And with this road, it has separated very nicely the residential blocks and the main facilities area.
Right.
We are sitting on one of the tallest residential building in One North. We are up to 27 stories high, comprising of 1 bedrooms all the way to 4 bedrooms. Plus the very popular 3-bedroom dual keys. If you look at the other corner of the tower, you can see that our 4 bedrooms premium are sitting on a single loading stack, meaning there's nothing blocking at the back and front. So you have a lot of air circulation, and that's very highly sought after for a lot of buyers who look for homestay units. So then we have the gym and everything that's at the bottom with a drop-off area and the basement car park. On the right side, where you have this terrain that is backing towards NTU Alumni Building, I think the architect and landscape has done a very good job to make it into a very nice resort feel. So you actually have the modernity of buildings blending in together with the nature around the whole area. So that's where you have your 50-meter slab pool, your wellness pool, children's pool, pavilions and stuff all tucked into that corner. So it's very interesting to be living in such a place. It feels open, yet at the same time, there's security, it feels private.
Looks just amazing. You need to come over to check it out.
So instead, we are now here at the other side of the development, and this is one of the most interesting part that I like about. Although we are not sitting on the largest land plot, what is interesting is we are seamlessly connected at the doorstep through a side gate to the One North Park, which is the largest within One North. So this part of the park actually forms up a part of the entire 16 hectares of the green lung that runs along the whole One North. There are 13 different components that form up this park. And I think importantly, the developer and the architect has been tasked to design this park
sure.
And I'm pretty sure that when they are designing it, they will actually let this entire concept from the development flow right throughout into this park area. And although it's public, but I feel it's just part of your development. So for residents who are actually walking their dogs or having young kids who needs to expand their energy and run, this is a perfect place, and it's just outside your development.
So big, so amazing. We've come to the end of another SRI New Home Showcase at Blossoms by the Park. Whether you're an investor or owns there, you want to know is, of course, some of the exit strategies that they can look out for, so please.
So there are a few milestones that we're going to look at. The first one being by end of next year, you have the completion of Circle Line with the addition of the three stations.
Yes.
So I'm sure this completion of the Circle Line will definitely boost prices up in this area by quite a bit, because previously they had to travel in a loop, now they have direct access to Marina Bay.
Yes.
Right, then of course in 2027, we are expecting Blossoms by the Park with TOP. At the same time, we will see the completion of Phase 1 of Jurong Lake District. In 2030, we will see the completion of the Greater One-Off. And along the next decade, in 2040, you will then see the completion of Greater Southern Waterfront. So I think this all gives very flexible exit points for a lot of clients, all the milestones that will boost the prices up. But importantly, Blossoms by the Park is a limited edition in one-off.
Interesting.
Yeah, because although we have so much things that are happening within one-off, we only have 3 launches that have taken place within one-off itself since 2009.
Okay.
So with these 3 launches, residential developments, we only have slightly over 900 units in one-off. With the addition of Blossoms by the Park and one more plot, we will probably see it crossing just 1,000 units. Right, and of course, there's another land plot that is under the government land sales confirmed list. It's actually a mixed development that is further away from the MRT station. And I believe the land prices that will be bidded will be a lot higher than what we see in Blossoms by the Park. So I think this is a very rare chance for people to grab a good unit, especially this being the best plot nearest to MRT, 5 minutes to rail corridor, and just doorstep to the one-off park. So I think buyers should seize this rare opportunity to own a unit within one-off.
Very nice. And of course, as always, do contact your preferred SRI salesperson, because slots are running up pretty fast. We are previewing on the 14th of April. So please make sure you book your slot. Come on by and we will see you here.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye-bye.